Thank you guys for joining us again and for tuning back in to the Sedalia and Jai Show. I am your host, Sedalia and Jai, and we got cut off, but I'm going to bring our special guest right back on. But I just wanted to say, I've been trying to tell y'all about Tandem Media. I've been trying to tell y'all for a long time. You know why? Because they are the business. They have the spaces that you need for all of your studio space needs. And I have a surprise. I have a surprise for you. I've been telling you guys about it all night, but I'm going to drop it again. 30% off. Do you need a photo shoot? I know I do. You have a photo shoot you need to do. You have a film you need to record. Especially for my music artists and my spoken word artists and my artists all around. All right, you guys, with my special code, you can get 30% off. My special code is SN Show. SN Show. I'll tag it so that you can have it. SN Show. I'll tag it so that you can get it because you need it, honey. You trying to get those? I don't care. They just follow Tandem and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not about to be here preaching to y'all, okay? Photo shoots from like wedding shoots to personal shoots to business shoots to commercial shoots. In-house photographer. They have an in-house photographer. What else do you want? I mean, you're like literally saying, hey, I'm booking a space and I have a photographer that is a part of that space. Y'all need to go. And not only that, but if you go, ta-da! If you book with Tandem Media, you'll not only get 30% off with my secret code, but you'll also get a free bottle of wine. Red or white? What's your pick? Cabernet Sauvignon. No, I say Cabernet Sauvignon. Or Pinot Grigio. Or Moscato. I don't have the Moscato, honey, but I got the Pinot Grigio and the Cabernet because that's what I like. But you have 3 options. You book a session with Tandem Media, 30% off using the code SN Show. You will also be gifted a bottle of wine during your set. I beg. Nothing better than that. You know what? I'm even going to pour some... You know what? I have, a little bit of it. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to do that later. I'm going to taste it, open it, and taste it and tell you what it tastes like. Because I need to know what's up before I tell y'all. Because I know it's legit because I've had it before, but I need to do it in front of y'all so y'all know it's real. Okay? So you'll see. Anyways, we're going to move forward with our show. We have our special guest in here, Kevin Tarr. We're talking all things tech. He is the founder of Nerd Inventions. Okay, tech genius, tech innovator, tech creative. I was just really impressed by the innovation. We're talking about like our Black Bill Gates here. Hold on, everybody calm down. So we're going to bring him back in. Right away. I really want to thank all of you for joining me. I see you guys in the comments. My guys, Deem. I see you guys. Unruly with a Y. Okay, I see you. I see you, Roxy. I see you. Where's your brother? Where's your twin? Happy belated birthday to you, DBL_IMG. Okay, we see you. I see you. Idea Sunshine. I'm doing these tags on purpose. I know all your names, but I want you guys to follow each other and see each other. So I see you guys. Amoy Ray, thank you for tuning in. I will disclaim that this show is kind of a structured platform, so we're not gonna like, the shout out is like right now. If you miss it, you miss it. I'm not gonna do it during the show because it's a structured platform. We have a special guest who's going to talk to us and we want to respect their space and their conversation. So I'm going to bring our special guest back in again, Mr. Kevin Tarr. Oh, where'd you go? Sorry, here you are. Kevin Tarr, who is our special guest for the evening. And we're going to continue our conversation about tech. Because you were dropping bombs. You already told us about, is it done? Is it here? Hi, you're back.
Ça va?
Ça va, okay. Tu veux pratiquer ton français? You want to practice your French? Is that it?
Maybe after this interview, I want to say.
So you want me, okay, so how can I help you practice your French? Because I don't want to, you want me to say it slow, like basic language? Like, how can I help you? Bonjour.
I think just intermediate conversation would be nice.
OK.
But
Ça va? Tu vas bien?
je vais bien et tout. Et toi?
Très bien. Est-ce que tu aimes l'émission, le programme aujourd'hui?
Well, my program that I'm doing. Well, do you, okay. So I can't say that in.
You can
I
say
can't.
oui, oui.
Oui.
You will say oui, j'aime le programme, meaning, do you like the show that we're having tonight? Est-ce que tu aimes le programme aujourd'hui? Then you'd be like, yeah, oui, j'aime le programme aujourd'hui.
J'aime le programme aujourd'hui. Yeah, tonight or soir.
Yes, very good. So what else did they teach you? What else do you know how to say right now? We can practice in conversation and I can integrate it into our interview. You can
Well,
show off your skills, but you tell me what you want to show off.
well, I want to make sure that we have time for the rest of the questions. Like, do we have time for the rest of the questions before we practice French? We
What
can do
questions? What are you talking about? We don't have questions. We just roll with the flow. We just go
French.
with the flow.
No, I mean virtual reality and all that. Like,
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, we can incorporate some of that with the French if you want. You can like
okay,
throw in
sure.
French words during your interview. How's that sound?
That sounds good. But I can show you why I've learned in French. I'm just trying to be. I just want to be considerate of
No,
time.
but I'm loving it. This is like I'm loving the fact that you're learning French. Like I love that. Like I think it's really critical and important because the Spanish is it, but it's not all the way it. Like around the world, as you see where I'm at, honey, we're speaking French.
Yeah, I mean, I can, I can speak intermediately. I can say, est-ce que vous comprenez le français? Je parle le français.
Absolument, very good.
D'où venez-vous? Est-ce que vous voulez manger quelque chose avec moi? Est-ce que vous voulez boire quelque chose avec moi?
Yes, I want a drink. I want a bottle. I want a whole bottle. Champagne. Est-ce que vous buvez avec moi? Yes, honey. I want a bottle of champagne.
Du vin, de la bière. Yeah. But I'm still, I'm still teaching myself it.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, we're gonna move forward though. I want you to, yeah, I'm really curious about virtual reality because, honey, I don't know. And again, for those of you tuning in, thank you so much for joining us with our special guest tonight, Mr. Kevin Tarr, who is the founder of Nerd Inventions, Tech Talk, not TED Talk, Tech Talk. I'm so excited. So yeah, so tell us more about. Okay, so we already talked about the game, that like kind of the apps that you created and your company, but now I want to know. There's one more thing I'm forgetting. I think there's another app that you have, #CinemaVR. And for me as a filmmaker, sidebar guys, you'll know that, but as a filmmaker, that's critical. I want to talk about that very quickly because you're using this virtual reality concept. So we're going to talk about that app, and then we're going to get into the place that virtual reality has in today's society. Is it really, okay, never mind, switch it. Is virtual reality really that popular? Is it really like popping like that? I think it is. What do you think? What are you going to tell us?
As of today, 2020, it is still on the incline instead of getting mainstream. I will not say virtual reality is mainstream right now, but it is unequivocally inevitable that virtual reality is coming. It is just as certain as the technology revolution coming, global warming existing, the sky being blue. Virtual reality is it's coming. I think that we are a bit away from it getting mainstream because people, I think the majority of society are laymen when it comes to virtual reality. So there has to be an adaptation curve where VR becomes normal, and there's more apps that are conducive to everyday life, which I think this pandemic is actually making that happen much faster.
Right.
But where people could be in their homes and doing virtual reality and checking out different experiences in VR. But VR is not mainstream yet. It's still seen by a lot of people as being this very expensive tech geek, sort of out world thing. But it's much more normal than that, actually. But it still has a way to go to become like a main thing that everybody in the home has, but it's going to get there.
I think so, and I see that kind of happening. That makes a lot of sense. So, how can you tell us about the incorporation of, knowing where the trend is with virtual reality and that it's on the rise, and then this new project that you have, kind of that you're working on, called #CinemaVR. I really love it because, again, I'm gonna let you tell it because you tell it better than me, but I really love it because it's especially great for filmmakers or people who want to produce content, even outside of just this plain structure of IG. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, IG is limiting me. I'm trying to put a whole talk show into IG. Do you understand? I'm trying to fit my talk show into this platform because that's all that people are seeing. But my talk show is bigger than that, and it does not fit on this platform. Let's
Right.
be 100.
Right.
I'm gonna tell them right now, what I have in mind is too big for this. So what is the middle ground? What do you do if you can't yet go to network television and also you're still too big for a standard platform like this? My whole strategy for the show is very different from what the IG algorithm was intended for. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
I'm literally breaking boundaries right now.
Yeah, the next Oprah.
Yeah, I'm doing my Oprah-ish. I'm the new Oprah / my own Sedalia, not Oprah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to adapt and use the tools that are available to me. But what if I am above or more, developed than those tools? Then what do I do? Then maybe I have an option like Cinema VR. So tell us about that project.
So #CinemaVR is a virtual reality movie theater experience. It's made for two people. It's made for consumers. It's made for filmmakers and social media influencers who have large followings to be able to make movies for their fans to come and watch. Basically, it works like a real movie theater where you download the app. Users can buy tickets to see a movie that is out for whatever price the influencer or the filmmaker prices their movie at. And once you pay your ticket, you go to movie time, you sit in the movie
I
theater.
bought my ticket. You see, I bought
Yeah,
my ticket. I got my popcorn.
I see your ticket in the seat, yes, and your popcorn and your soda, and I see the gum underneath the seats. Yes. But you watch it with your friends, or you can watch a movie with your friends and family. We're still trying to integrate the whole multi-use experience where you're able to watch movies with like your girlfriends, or you're able to go on like a private date with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you're able to experience a movie with people, or just the general public, people that you don't even know. But it's made for that, for influencers and social media influencers, filmmakers, independent filmmakers, and anybody that is trying to go viral or trying to make their movie, put a movie out there, but it's not necessarily trying to go the Hollywood route or doesn't want Hollywood to own, 80% of their creative rights or the money and all sorts of things. There's a platform for the filmmaker by a filmmaker, past filmmaker. The other part about this, the other person that this app is for the consumer to be able to watch movies of things they want to watch. So we do that every day with like Netflix. Netflix. There's hundreds, if not even maybe 1,000 different shows or movies on Netflix that are not that quote unquote aren't mainstream, but are made by independent
Right.
filmmakers that saw Netflix as an opportunity to put this stuff out there on something that was not technically Hollywood. And they got it out there, and now Netflix has become like a thing where it's like it's an accomplishment. It's a huge accomplishment to be on Netflix.
Absolutely.
That's like making it now. But you go back 2012, 2011. This was just seen as a platform for people to be able to put movies on. For the independent filmmaker, at least, there's some Hollywood movies that wanted, but for the independent filmmaker, it was seen as a step to just put stuff out there without having to go through Hollywood. So we already and watch shows and all the other stuff by independent filmmakers, dear white people, independent. What's his name? I think Signs. And there's some other shows on there that are just by non-mainstream Hollywood people. you know, Ava DuVernay.
Yeah, Ava DuVernay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she's Hollywood mainstream now, and she's Hollywood mainstream. What'd you say?
right, but she
She would still be a part of a project like this, I believe. I believe so, because she is still an advocate and one of the true ones that is untarnished.
yeah, but her show, her documentary 13 was on Netflix, you
Yeah,
know.
13. Yeah,
And
13.
and that was, you know, that was like the first blockbuster hit. Not blockbuster, I guess, because it's not like supposed to be blockbuster. It's supposed to be like a real documentary on like black men in prison. But it was a documentary that, you know, was seen by people across the world to expose injustice, and it
Right.
really, you know, made her name go up, and that was on Netflix. So pretty much, my point is that there's content that um, that people want to see, that want to watch, that, you know, aren't ruled by like six companies that control Hollywood that just make film. We want to give voice to everybody, anybody that has, you know, a film and wants the audience to see it and wants people to watch. And Hashtag Cinema does that, but in not just a regular TV way. Like, we want to make this an experience where you can actually, you know, be with your friends, your family, your girlfriends, watching.
So other than that, I want to know technically how it works. People want to know technically how it works. Like, so like, is it global? You're working on it still, but will it be global or just local? Or like, do you send a virtual headset? Like, what does it look like technically, right? I need to know.
Oh, what do you mean by global or local? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, I know that it's still like in process still, right? But when
No,
I
it's
say
not
global, like
absolute.
everyone anywhere, will you send them virtual reality heads? Because it's virtual reality. So what does that mean, virtual reality? Because when I think of it, I'm like, I need to have a like an eyewear that's like here so I can see through that lens. Like, how do you install that into homes or into people to access it? Like you know, how will that kind of play out? What are your thoughts? I know it's still in development and you're giving us an exclusive, and I really appreciate that, guys. You guys are getting a real treat right now. But I really want to know, people, I'm sure, want to know what that will look like, because that's going to probably be our future. You're absolutely right.
Well, no, Hashtag Cinema's actually out in the App Store. It's been out for a bit now. So, but, you know, we're
So
still.
not just on the app though, but outside of that, what about that virtual experience, that real virtual reality experience? Are you
Well,
going to think about headgear, like mailing it to you, or having a website, or you know what I mean? Again, I'm not a virtual reality expert. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
well, I mean, people want to check out the app. We you know, as a company, Nerd Inventions, we do send out headsets to some of our fans. But that's not necessarily a responsibility for Hashtag to do. Like, if you want to experience the app, you download the app and you get a headset to experience the app. You
So
know,
when you download the app, you get a headset, or you like it's just the app?
no, you download the app and headset are done separately. So the
I
same way,
can't
like,
hear you. Sorry.
the
Again?
app and headset are done separately. So it's just like, if you buy a video game for your Super Nintendo, you still need a Super Nintendo to play it. You need to buy something.
Right, of course. Oh, okay, I see.
All right, so that's how it works. So we make the app, but as far as you getting the headset, you know, that's the user's
To
responsibility.
experience it like fully, right? So where can people, you know, get, like, people who don't know, right? They like, say they want, like, I want it in layman's terms. Say there's people who don't know anything about tech like I do. They're like, okay, I want to be a part of Hashtag Cinema VR. I'm gonna download the app. You guys better do that, because honey, if you're a creative person or a filmmaker or anything, and you can even reach out to Mr. Tarr, you know, to get more information about them and get those details, and to kind of even partner. You don't know. I know a lot of my peoples are artists here. I know y'all see me, and y'all better hit them up, because this is an incredible opportunity. But outside of that, okay, so I get the app, I download it, I have it. Okay, so apps are easy. I either have it on my phone, I have it on my tablet, or I have it on my TV, right?
Your phone.
Right. I said my phone, my tablet, or
It's
my
not
TV.
it's not on tablet or TV. It's just for the phone. It's for the phone.
Oh, it's just for the phone now. So they're gonna expand eventually, I'm sure.
Well, the
Right?
iPad.
Because now you have it on your phone. and you're gonna see it. But bro, you need to put it on the TV because then you can send me gear and headwear and raise the price, and I'm gonna be in here like movie time, you know.
So let me explain how this works. So, you get so the headset is
So
main.
that's what I'm saying, because you were saying that it's
Okay.
separate, but I need you to clarify to our people it's separate, but how is it virtual reality? That's what I need you to tell me.
Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to clarify. So, you get a headset. Headsets. Well, let me answer one question at a time. Okay, so you get a headset, a virtual reality headset, VR headsets. It's on Apple right now. So Apple has not created a virtual reality headset yet. They haven't released it. Not that they're not working on it, just haven't released it yet.
Right.
But you get a headset from Walmart or Amazon. A VR headset, you get a pretty cheap one that's universal for all phones for like $20 or even $10. Like they have this. So Google, some engineers at Google made a really brilliant invention called a Google Cardboard. And it's basically a virtual reality headset that is made out of cardboard, literally. Has stereoscopic lenses, meaning it has magnifying lenses that you can use on your phone, and you put your phone inside the headset, and you're in virtual reality. It's just as simple as that. You download the app, you turn on the app, you put it in the headset, and you're there. It is relatively inexpensive. It's like $5, $10 max. You can get that, and the phone power is incredible because the phone it really shows the power of the iPhone and how much it can do. You know it's like you would think, okay,
Yeah, the iPhone's crazy, and that's what I
but
really. Yeah.
hold on. I just want to answer this. You know, you would it shows the power of the iPhone because you would think on a cardboard, it's just like it may not be as powerful as like an Oculus VR headset, but when you put the phone inside of it, you realize like, wow, these graphics are incredible. You know,
Right.
so that's part of how you experience it. But an iPad can't fit inside the VR headset, so it's made specifically for an iPhone, or it's made with VR glasses that have the software already on it. So that's why I wouldn't work with an iPad. You could now if you want to put it on a TV, you could like screen share your experience on a TV. So like others around you, you watch a movie, you want others to join you and see where you're watching on like another screen, another monitor. You can screen share it, but it's made for mainly either a phone, a mobile device, or VR glasses that already have the software installed in it. So you just put the VR glasses on your head and you're in there. You're just in there.
Nice. That's really cool. Again, y'all be okay. Like I don't know a lot about it, but I love it. Like I think it's really ingenious. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that kind of manifests into. And I encourage you guys to follow. I'll pin our special guest here tonight, Mr. Kevin Tarr. As I do that, we're going to move forward and just ask you, I know there's this whole Black Lives Matters movement that's happening. What is the role for you as a Black person in tech? Yes. What is the importance of being a Black person in tech?
And in what context exactly?
In this context of us, empowering each other, of being in this Black Lives Matters movement, I think it's really important to understand and see the full scope of the Black individual. And part of that is understanding that we are everywhere. We're everywhere. We're even in tech. So have you found, I want to say, what is the importance of Black people in tech? Because I'm thinking about of leaders, of people who are in what are they called, gatekeepers. I'm thinking about gatekeepers, and tech is ruling our world and ruling our environment. So I cannot negate or ignore the role that Black people should play in tech and in the movement of technology and technological careers. I can't ignore that fact when I'm thinking about this movement because it is a leading factor. So what are your thoughts on that, Kevin? What is the role of the Black individual in technology?
I think that in technology, Black people are primarily consumers. We're not creators. We don't create as much. I know it's a generalization to make, but if you look at it statistically, you know, Black people as a race of people, statistically, we consume a lot of technology. We consume Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and all that, but very few of us are software engineers actually building technology, you know, coding technology, and all those other things. So, you know, I think in this arms race of like, you know, power, because I feel like technology will become a currency, literally. Like if you are like, it's going to be required for you to be able to function in society, to be able to know how to build technology. I think we're getting to that stage because um, we because the technology revolution is happening where it's becoming more apparent that we are a technology dependent society. People are getting replaced by robots everywhere, and it's going to continue. But I think that as you know, sadly, unfortunately, I think we are so far behind in terms of creating technology that I think right now is just representation that has to start where it's even cool for people to do technology and learn technology. Because I go to conferences and, you know, I went to, you know, Afrotech, and that's a conference for,
Afro tech, Afro like African tech.
yeah, Afrotech, yes,
Ah, that's so
Afrotech.
cool. Tell us about that. Because again, some of our audience members think that, like, you know, we don't have the know-how or the guidance to do that. But this is a seminar, a platform that will give that. Ooh, I want to know. Give me the
So,
tea, honey. I want to know.
okay, so Afrotech is a technology conference held out in California and Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area annually
Yes.
for Black people, primarily across the diaspora everywhere to
Of
come
course.
and come and go to technology seminars, meet recruiters at these big companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, all these other big companies that are trying to recruit Black people, and you know, talk about all the facets of technology from investing, raising money, to building a company, to learn how to code, to all these other things. And I, you know, I have my good and bad opinions about the actual show. But Afrotech is pretty dope. It's a pretty dope experience. But the interesting part that I noticed about Afrotech, because I'm a software engineer, I'm a VR engineer, there
Right.
is
Right.
that
Absolutely.
like I met so many Black people there that are, you know, that attend the conference. But when I ask what to do, I normally hear I am a social worker, I am a lawyer, I'm in human resources, I am a project manager, I am this and that. Um, the actual Black software engineers, like the first year I went, I met out of maybe 3 or 4 thousand people, I met maybe 3 or 4 software engineers, Black people that were actually writing code. You know, most of us in that sample population were trying to understand or tech enthusiasts wanted to get in the industry, or if we're working in the industry, we're working as in a tech adjacent position. We're, you know, a project manager or human resources or product manager at Google or Facebook and all that. But the people the people who are in the grunt work, actually writing the code and building the apps and building the software and creating technology, you know, very few of us in that event, Afrotech, a conference made for technology, technologists, Black people in technology. Very few of that population were programmers from the ones I met. And this past year when I went there, it was a bit more. It was instead of like 4, it was like maybe 9 or 10.
And
So
that was my question for you, Kevin. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but that was my question. My leading question. Do you feel like companies, like let's say like top tech companies or companies that require those with a technological capacity or who are software engineers, do you feel like they're just kind of feeling like a diversity inclusion role? Because I know, see, these people here in Toronto, they don't know, but I don't know how it is here, but in the States, you have a diversity quota that you have to meet.
mhm.
Facts? You have to meet it. Doesn't necessarily always mean that you are including, you know, someone that is con- considered a minority.
Right.
Um, doesn't mean that you consider them talented. It means that you have a quota. So you try to pick the most talented of those people in that quota. And that's for me what needs to change. It shouldn't be like, yeah, that's a good start, but that start's been here for over 50 fucking, I'm sorry, I can't swear. Oh, I'm upset.
Oh no, get a bachelor.
For 50 plus years, that quota has been instilled as a measure to try and promote inclusion, but it's not enough. So we need to tackle it from the inside. So do you feel like, you know, like, companies are hiring minorities or, let's say, Black people, for example, just because they need to meet a quota, not because they necessarily even think that that person's qualified or capable. And maybe that was perhaps why you saw a low number of African Americans at that expo.
Well, first, I can't generalize and say that every company has that motivation. I
But you know that they
hold
have
on.
a governmental quota that they have to meet. You know
Right.
that.
Yes. I know that, but I can't. Okay, so I can't generalize it that every company is doing it only for quota. I will say that I think that that if whether that's the primary motivation, secondary motivation, tertiary motivation, that is a motivation for why they choose to include Black people in the companies. Now, whether they have some other nefarious reasons for doing it, or whether it's it's genuine. I think that's company to company to select to really assess and analyze that. But diversity is a huge problem in technology. I think like Black people, from what I've read, I think recently, don't quote me on this. I think I'm pretty right, but don't quote me on this. But I think we make up like 2% of Silicon Valley. So we're very much the minority in Silicon Valley and in tech. Now, to your other question, that doesn't necessarily equate to why there's so few Black people that are software engineers to begin with. Because I was working, I had my own tech company. Like I'm a software engineer. I don't work at Google or Facebook, and nor do I have to work there or to be a software engineer or to write code or to understand technology or build technology. I don't have to. Those companies don't. I don't have to, work at those companies in order to actually be able to write code. The people I was meeting weren't people who were actually writing code or actually, software engineers. They were, happily in the role of, lawyer, designer, product manager, and all those other things, which are all great roles and everything. But when we talk about actually creating the technology, the people who are actually, building it and writing the code, those few people, there are very few of us that existed, even in an event that was for us, by us, FUBU.
And why do you think that is? You think we're afraid of the challenge or the difficulty? Again, you were speaking about coding earlier in your interview. Do you think it's this challenge that's making, the Black person kind of shy away from this domain?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's multiple. I think this is a very multi-layered, you know, question, but well, at least assessment of why Black people are in it. I think definitely the challenge of it is definitely intimidates Black people doing it. I think it's also not taught to us, as something as being normal as like art and science or dancing or singing or those other things. It's not culturally seen as normal. It's very I don't meet, even from the Black people that I know who are professionals who graduate like from college, I don't meet a lot of Black people who are like software engineers working at Google or Apple as software engineers. I meet some people work at Google, but they're not software engineers. They might work at HR, they might be recruiters, they might be doing something else. But a Black tech person, we're talking about how the nerd thing is, so defamed for years, and especially in the Black community, it's definitely defamed. From my experience, it's not seen as cool, nor has it been something that has been funneled to us as something that we should do, or that there's opportunity here for us to grow. I think we're just now seeing that, and I think we're pretty late to the game because
Yeah.
Asians, white people, Indians have all seen that technology as being like the place to be at. We're just now getting to the party in 2020. And we're still trying to pull teeth for people to start learning. Like, hey, you should learn how to code. We should do this. You're Black. Learn how to code and all those other things. But we're just now starting conference like Afrotech. Afrotech has been out for only a couple of years now. It's not even that old. It's less than, I think, if 5 years maybe. So we are just now starting this. But I also think that it has to be something that we really see as as a stepping stone to like um, prosperity. And I think a lot of us, you know, not only feel intimidated by it, but a lot of us are scared of technology because of all the ways, you know, people use it, you know, and all the evil that, you know, people assume it to be associated with. Um, and they just don't ever try to learn it or try to go with it. I think that's a huge disservice to them. I think it is a disservice to the Black community. But I think to answer your question, your original question, representation is where we start at because we don't even, like, we're not even in the game to even know a strategy yet. I don't even think we're fully in the game yet.
Right.
You know.
Right, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. I really want to thank you for sharing that. And we're going to wrap this show with the last question because when we spoke, not only do you have a lot of insight about technology and the place of the Black man within technology, but you know, we talked about what do you think is the most helpful thing in terms of professional and personal development, especially during COVID. What do you think is something that you found? I want to know for you personally, Mr. Tarr. I want to know what you found most helpful with COVID. You know, during these times in terms of professional and personal development.
Well, I'll tell you something that is it's kind of like it's kind of a bit off the grid, but it's inspiring. So bear with me, right? So um so I was watching. So okay, so I was watching YouTube, and I saw this girl on YouTube. She was, you know, I think she's part of this band, some rock band. You know, I'm not really into rock music or anything like that, but she's part of some like rock band, and she was like, you know, not only learning how to get better at playing the guitar, but she was actually teaching, you know, people on her YouTube channel how to play the guitar. You know, and she was like, you know, I just want to be productive in this pandemic. You know, it's March. It's like maybe mid-March. You know, when the pandemic was really starting, when the quarantine was really starting. And she's like, you know, I just want to be productive in this, you know, coronavirus season and pandemic. I just want to make myself useful, so I'm gonna, you know, put videos up, you know, every other day. Um, you know, to you know, teach people how to do the guitar and everything. And it was very unassuming, very like, you know, there's no like, you know, goal or transactional goal attached to it. She was just doing it like because she actually, you know, liked to play the guitar. She wanted to teach people how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
And you know, that was like early March, or mid March, and then like maybe like the other day, I'm listening to Hulu. I'm watching Hulu. I'm watching something on Hulu, and there's a commercial that comes on, and you know, Shazam, the song was catchy, so I'm like, okay, let me Shazam this song, you know,
You're
and
kidding.
I Shazam the song, and it's her playing the song, and she had just got
No
a Hulu
way.
commercial, and I thought that was just so like incredibly inspiring. I'm just like, wow, like, you know, you started a couple of months ago this YouTube channel, like talking about playing the guitar. Like, yeah, you know, I just want to start it. I'm not doing it for any lofty goal. I'm not doing it to like accomplish, to make money or to get 1 million followers or anything like that. I'm just doing it because I actually like playing the guitar and all that. This is a very simple, honest, genuine, you know, goal and things she wanted to do. And the fact that it just, you know, took off on its own, is expounded and just, you know, did so well. It showed me like in this whole pandemic that, you know, one, so much of what we do every day is tied to productivity and tied to a received benefit, which isn't bad, you know, because we live in a capitalistic society, you know, so things are supposed to be tied to, you know, receiving something after you do it, you know. But so much of what we do is tied to that, that we cannot imagine or fathom, or we do not value doing anything that doesn't have some perceived reward or gift at the end of it. You know, oh, why am I doing this? What's the point of me? What is the point of me learning how to sing? If I work out, am I going to get, you know, a beach body in a month? Am I going to, you know, if I sit some time learning to sing, am I going to get a deal? If not, you know, why am I spending time doing this? I should spend time doing something that's going to actually give me money or give me success. You know, and there's always a transactional, you know, attachment to something. It's never doing something out of, or it's rarely doing something out of the pure love and enjoyment of they get for tasks. So that inspired me this pandemic season, seeing her succeed, and even relating back to your other question, your previous question, I started doing my own thing on YouTube, teaching people how to code and pass interviews. So when you ask me, what am I doing for, Black people in technology, I'm my own YouTube page and my LinkedIn. If anybody wants to connect on LinkedIn or follow me on YouTube, I teach people how to pass coding interviews at Facebook, Google, Apple, these coding interview questions that you don't get asked to pass. I do videos, tutorials explaining it, and I also work at a company too, along with running my tech company. And these are questions that I ask in interviews as well, in order for you to not only see these questions at a time, but also know the answers and be able to pass it. And I think that this is doing something purely because I love it. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna become the successful one. This is going to be one of the routes to becoming a successful tech guru, or if it's going to be something that's I'm doing the past time. But either way, it's making me better, and I think that we should definitely value things that we'd love to do that aren't necessarily attached to transaction or value, because you never know what it can give you. It can something that someone's playing guitar can get you a deal on Hulu.
Forgive me. This doesn't happen regularly. You've given me the courage to say what I'm going to say to you, Kevin. And that is that what you've said is I find completely true, and I'm in that space. That I just want to do what I love, what I know that I'm inherently good at, and I know I'm inherently destined to do. And I don't think about the benefits that I will reap from that. And sometimes it looks unpleasant. But that's why you have to, again, as you mentioned, have to have the passion for it and the love for it and the unintentionality of it, right? It's not expecting. You're expecting, you have goals, you have, a vision, but the intentions, you can't fake that. You can't fake those intentions. God knows your heart. You can't fake that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you just made me a little emotional. And this isn't something that I normally disclose, but in that moment, I saw myself in what you just said.
Well, I'm happy that you felt what I said. That I said it from my heart.
Yeah, it's important. And we move forward and we take from that and we share, and it needs to be selfless, not only for others, but also for our own growth and for our humility.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think the ironic thing about it is normally when if you do some of the things that you actually do that you're organically destined to do, like God programmed your mind to be able to do this intuitively, flawlessly, innately. It is instinctual. It is just natural that you can do this. Some of those things that you don't see a direct monetary value attached to it. So you just say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to pursue acting or singing because that's, I'm not, it's not going to give me money tomorrow, or I'm not going to pursue dancing or whatever, if you feel like isn't transactional. Ironically enough, if you do those things and you become good at it, money oftentimes follows that, money.
Yes, you don't even have to, when things are meant to be, it literally comes. Yes, you're supposed to do your part, but I think that, again, I'm not going to get into it. The European structure made us think that we had to go to X, Y, and Z and jump through hoops in order to attain or achieve success based on landing a certain role that fit their ideology. That's the only way you can remain structured. It doesn't mean that that's what's inherently true or what God means. Because I remember a time before that system was in place where people just kind of either followed in their family's footsteps or what God told them to do.
Exactly.
That was profession. Profession was God told me to be this, or my family has done this for years, and that's just the normal path.
Exactly. And
so think about that. Y'all need to think about that.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the flaw of living in a capitalist society because we're
Absolutely. And that society is based on a structure built by man.
we're so goal
Built
oriented.
by someone that is just like me, that is no more capable than I am.
Right, and we're so obsessed with attaining goals, which is not a bad thing, but we're so obsessed with
You
it
still need
that
structure because that negates it. You need structure and clarity, but that end goal, what does that look like? That's the problem, not the process. Everyone needs structure and goals. I think that's a good thing to implicate for you to be able to manifest your future. But the problem is, what are you evaluating or determining as success? That's what you need to look at.
right.
The process of application.
And that's the last thing I was going to say is that I think we're so obsessed with attaining goals that we see no value in anything else that also gives us happiness if it's not giving us money or success. I think that's really sad.
Facts. Facts, King. Well, I really want to thank you for taking the time out to join us tonight. I think that you've dropped knowledge and you've spoken a lot of truth, and people can take it or they can't. But I'm here for the truth. That's what the Sedalia and Jazz show is all about. So I want to thank you again for joining us this evening. We won't take up more of your time. We're praying for you because in the States, I know it's crazy and it's hectic. So we're praying for you in the States.
I appreciate it. I'll be praying for you too. I mean, I know Toronto is better, but it's not.
And we'll get back, hashtag Cinema VR. I know it's a developing project, but when things like really kick off even more, just like so we can know directly what to do, or like, people can be a part of that. Because again, the independent filmmaking industry is in need of your app. It is in need of that, the independent filmmaking industry. So we'll keep in touch and talk further about bringing you back on to maybe look at what that could look like even more. Yes?
Yes, and if any of your followers or any of my followers have any questions, please.
Yes, I pinned you guys. Be sure to follow Mr. Kevin Tarr, Nerd Inventions, founder of tech company Nerd Inventions. I pinned it here in the comments, and you can also see it in the upper left-hand corner for those of you, or for you guys. Yeah, so upper left-hand corner. I was like, for those of you that need to see what's going on, go ahead and follow him so you can keep up with everything that's going on. We want to thank him again, and we'll give him our own virtual round of applause here, just as thanks. On te remercie, monsieur. Bonne nuit.
Bonsoir, mon chéri. Bye.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into tonight's episode. We're winding down, we're going out, we're closing out, but you guys were amazing. This episode of the Sedalia and Jazz show is sponsored by Tandem Media. I have a special code for you guys to rent out your studio space, 30% off if you use my code. This is a special offer, and it's only my code. I'm gonna tell you, it's a secret. Are you ready? SN Show. SN Show. All together, all one word. Put that, go to the Tandem Media handle or the page, look at their studio space bookings and their loyalty program. You have all the information you need here. And when you apply or book their studio space, you get a discount because of me. Because of me. It's because of me. I'm giving you that code secret. Don't tell them I told you. Just use it, okay? And you'll also get a free bottle of wine. Not two, one. You can either pick Pinot Grigio, Cabernet Sauvignon. They also have Moscato. So you can pick. I don't have the Moscato because I don't like it. But here you go. You guys can go ahead and check out Tandem Media. Get a free bottle of wine with your first booking of that space, alongside 30% off discount. And this also applies to their loyalty program. You guys have been amazing. Have a great night.